You know the feeling. After a conversation with a certain person, you feel utterly exhausted, depleted, as if your very life force has been siphoned away. We have a name for this. We call them energy vampires. And the common mistake is to believe that they are the ones with all the power. But what if that isn't the truth? What if the reason you get so drained is because an unlocked door inside of you is allowing your own precious energy to leak out? What if the key to protecting yourself has nothing to do with them and everything to do with finally understanding your own inner landscape? This is a difficult truth to sit with. The pop psychology framing of the vampire, while cathartic, keeps us in the role of the victim, powerless, waiting for the next attack. But the great psychologist Carl Jung offered us a more powerful and ultimately more liberating way to see this dynamic. He taught that these draining encounters are rarely a one-way street. They are a form of unconscious collusion. There are people who are unconsciously broadcasting a need, and there are people who are unconsciously conditioned to fill it. The problem isn't that they are taking. The problem is that you are leaking. And the good news is you can patch the leak for good. In this deep dive into Jungian wisdom, we will deconstruct the myth of the energy vampire. We will explore the unhealed parts of your own psyche, the unlocked doors that make you a perfect match for these draining dynamics. And most importantly, we will learn the practical inner work of building a psychological shield, not of confrontation, but of wholeness. So if you are tired of being someone else's battery pack, if you are ready to reclaim your own life force, then let us begin the sacred work of locking your own doors. To truly heal this dynamic, we must first fire the vampire. Not a real person, but the idea of the vampire. The story that we are a powerless victim in the face of another's overwhelming need. This story is a prison. It keeps you feeling helpless. The more profound truth, the truth that holds the key to your freedom, is that this draining dance is an act of unconscious collusion. It takes two. For this dynamic to exist, there must be two things, a hook and an eye. The hook is the other person's unconscious broadcasted need for energy, for validation, for a container for their chaos. The I is our own unconscious, unhealed vulnerability that the hook fits into perfectly. The feeling of being drained is the feeling of our own life force rushing out through that opening to meet their unconscious demand. I know this feeling well. I have a client. We'll call her Clara. Clara is a nurse, a classic empath, the rock of her family, the person everyone calls in a crisis. She has a friend, Susan, whose life seems to be a perpetual storm. Every phone call is a monologue of grievances about her job, her partner, her health. Clara would listen patiently for an hour, offering support, offering advice, and after every call, she would hang up the phone and feel a profound, soul-deep exhaustion, a heavy cloak she couldn't take off for the rest of the day. She felt guilty for wanting the calls to end, And then she felt guilty for feeling guilty. She believed this was her duty as a good friend. What Clara couldn't see was the unlocked door within herself. Her exhaustion had nothing to do with Susan, and everything to do with her own unhealed rescuer archetype. Her inner child had learned long ago that her value, her worthiness, came from being helpful, from fixing, from saving. Susan's chaos was the perfect hook for Clara's unconscious need to be needed. She wasn't being drained. She was hemorrhaging her own energy to prove her own worth. This is the first and perhaps most common unlocked door, the unhealed caregiver or the rescuer. This is the part of us with a compulsive need to fix others' pain. It feels responsible for their happiness. It confuses true compassion with codependent enabling. It cannot say no without feeling a crushing wave of guilt. There is a second unlocked door, the people-pleasing inner child. This is an even younger, more vulnerable part of us. It is not trying to be a hero. It is simply trying to survive. Its core belief is, if I am not useful, if I do not keep this person happy, I will be abandoned. I will be rejected. So it will sacrifice its own energy, its own truth, its own needs, not for the other person, but for a phantom of safety. It leaks its life force as a payment for belonging. And there is a third door, the most subtle of all, the repressed shadow. Sometimes the person who drains us is living out a quality we have exiled in ourselves. The chronically complaining colleague drains you because they are expressing the negativity and victimhood you have forbidden in your own psyche. The dramatic, attention-seeking friend exhausts you because they are embodying the very need to be seen that your own persona has deemed unacceptable. The exhaustion you feel is the immense energy it takes to hold down your own shadow, to maintain the constant internal judgment of them, and therefore of a disowned part of yourself. Carl Jung understood this collusion with profound clarity. He knew that the outer world is a mirror for our inner unresolved conflicts. So I invite you to pause with me here, just for a moment. Bring to mind the last time you felt that profound post-interaction exhaustion. You don't need to judge the other person. You don't need to fix anything. Just feel the memory of that depletion in your body. And gently, with so much compassion, ask your own soul, which door was open? Was it the rescuer, desperate to fix? Was it the scared child, terrified of being rejected? Or was it the judgmental shadow at war with a reflection of itself? Just asking the question is the first step. It is the act of turning the light away from the vampire and turning it toward your own beautiful, human, and unhealed heart. For once we have named the open door, the real work can begin, the sacred work of building the shield from the inside out. The ultimate psychological shield is not a shield at all. It is not a wall you build against the world. It is a wholeness you cultivate within yourself. A hook needs an eye to latch onto. When you heal the inner vulnerability, when you consciously lock your own door, the hook has nothing to hold. The dynamic dissolves, not through conflict, but through a lack of collusion. This is the sacred work of building your shield from the inside out. And it begins with 3 practices. The first practice is radical self-awareness. The next time you feel that familiar, draining sensation after an interaction, do not blame them. Do not judge yourself. Simply get curious. Take out a journal or just find a quiet moment and ask with the gentle curiosity of a scientist of the soul, what part of me got activated? What door was just unlocked? Was it the rescuer, feeling the compulsive need to fix their pain? Was it the scared inner child, terrified of their disapproval if you didn't please them? Was it the judgmental shadow, exhausted from the inner battle of criticizing a quality in them that you have disowned in yourself? Just naming it is a profound act of power. You are moving the dynamic from the unconscious to the conscious. The second practice is the most important of all. It is the act of reparenting the activated part. This is where the deepest healing happens. This is an act of profound self-compassion. When you have identified which door was open, you must turn toward that part of you, not with criticism, but with the love of a wise and gentle parent. Let's go back to Clara, our exhausted nurse. After our work together, the next time she felt that familiar dread before a call with Susan, she paused. She identified the part of her that was activated, the rescuer. And so, before she answered the phone, she placed a hand on her own heart, and she spoke silently to that part of herself. She said, "I see you. I see how much you want to help. But it is not your job to save her. Your only job is to care for us. I've got this." Let's try this now. Just for a moment. Pause with me. Place a hand on your heart or wherever you feel the most vulnerable. If it is your rescuer that gets activated, whisper to it, "It is not your job to save them." If it is your scared inner child, whisper, "We are safe. We do not need their approval to be okay. I will not abandon you." If it is your judgmental shadow, whisper, "I see you. I hear your judgment. Thank you for trying to protect me. I am safe." Can you feel that? That is the feeling of an adult stepping into the room. That is the feeling of a door being gently closed and locked from the inside. The third practice is the cultivation of energetic sovereignty. This is a simple visualization you can do before an interaction you know might be draining you. Find a quiet moment, close your eyes, and imagine a gentle but firm bubble of golden light all around you, extending about an arm's length in every direction. This is not a wall. It is a permeable membrane. Compassion can go out. Information can come in. But your own life force stays with you. Set a simple, clear intention. My energy is my own. I can listen with compassion, but I do not need to absorb their state or fix their problems. This simple ritual, as Carl Jung understood, is a powerful way to communicate with the unconscious. It signals that you are now the conscious guardian of your own inner space. These 3 practices, energetic sovereignty, reparenting, and awareness, are the forge. They are where you slowly, patiently, and lovingly build your psychological shield. You are not becoming hard.
you are becoming whole. You are not becoming selfish, you are becoming self-full. And as you do this inner work, you begin to notice something miraculous. The draining people in your life seem to lose their power. The hooks they cast out find no eye to latch on to. And the dynamic, which once felt so powerful and inevitable, simply withers away. So you have done the inner work. You have started to lock your doors. You have begun to feel a new sense of energetic wholeness. But the phone still rings. The colleagues still complain. What do you say? How does this new inner shield translate into a clear, kind, and powerful action in the outer world?
The kindest thing you can do for a person who is drowning is to not let them pull you under. The inner shield you are building is not a wall to push people away. It is a boundary of self-respect. And from this place of inner wholeness, you gain access to one of the most powerful and compassionate tools a human being can possess: the clean no. A dirty no is a reaction. It is born from resentment and frustration. It is laced with anger and guilt. It often explodes after you have said yes one too many times. A clean no is a response. It is born from a place of self-knowledge and capacity. It is not a rejection of the other person. It is a declaration of your own energetic reality. Let's go back to Clara, our nurse. The phone rings. It's Susan. The old familiar dread rises in her stomach. But this time, something is different. She doesn't just answer, she pauses. She places a hand on her heart and speaks to her inner rescuer. "I've got this." She answers the phone, and she listens. She listens with true compassion, but she is also listening to something else. She is listening to her own body. After 10 minutes, she feels the old familiar sensation of depletion begin to creep in. And this is the moment, the fork in the road. The old Clara would have ignored it. She would have pushed through, sacrificing herself on the altar of being a good friend. But the new Clara, the Clara who is forging her shield, honors the signal. And she says, with a voice that is both kind and firm, "Susan, I hear that you are in so much pain right now, and I am so sorry you are going through this." That is the compassionate statement. Then she says, "I only have about 10 more minutes to talk." That is the clear limit. And finally, after that, I really need to have some quiet time for myself before my family gets home. That is the self-care action. It grounds the boundary in her own legitimate needs. Susan is surprised, maybe even a little hurt. But Clara does not waver. She does not apologize. She holds the space. And when the 10 minutes are up, she says, "I love you. We'll talk soon." And she hangs up. And then the miracle. Clara braces herself for the usual wave of guilt, but it doesn't come. Instead, she feels a quiet, solid peace. She feels whole. She did not reject her friend. She protected her own soul. She taught Susan in that moment how to treat her. She replaced the all-you-can-eat buffet of her energy with a single, nourishing cup of tea. This is the freedom of non-reactivity. It is the state you arrive at when you have done the inner work. The wisdom of Carl Jung teaches us that you cannot control the outer world. You can only become a conscious participant within it. You can be in the presence of someone's chaos without their chaos entering you. You can offer genuine compassion without taking on their suffering as your own. You are no longer leaking. Your energy is your own. And from this place of fullness, you can now choose consciously when and how to offer it. Pause with me here one last time. Close your eyes. Imagine that beautiful, gentle bubble of golden light all around you. Feel its warmth, its strength. This is your sovereign space. And in this space, you have the right to say no. Not with anger, but with love. With the deep, quiet love of a soul that has finally learned that to truly care for others, it must first and always care for itself. This is not selfishness. This is the foundation of all true generosity. And as you become the guardian of your own energy, a new set of challenges arises. You have learned to set a boundary with a friend, with a colleague. But what happens when the person whose neediness is draining you, whose patterns are keeping you stuck, is not a friend you can simply hang up on? What happens when the person you need to set a boundary with is your own parent? We have journeyed from the exhausting role of the victim to the empowered seat of the architect of our own inner world. We have learned to see the draining dynamics in our lives not as an attack from a vampire, but as a sacred signal from our own soul, pointing to the doors we have left unlocked. And we have begun the courageous inner work of healing the wounds and forging the shield. This is the profound wisdom that the work of Carl Jung offers us. It is a path that always leads us back to ourselves. The ultimate truth is this: your energy is your most precious, non-renewable resource. It is the currency of your life, and you are its sole guardian. Protecting your energy is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of profound self-respect, and it is the foundation of all true generosity. You cannot pour from an empty cup. By learning to keep your own cup full, you are finally free to offer a drink to others, not from a place of codependent obligation, but from a place of sovereign, joyful choice. You are not becoming a fortress. You are becoming a sanctuary, a safe, sacred space for your own soul to reside. And from this sanctuary, you can meet the world with a strong back and a soft, open heart. You can offer your compassion freely, knowing that your own core is not on the line. The chaos of the world can no longer become the chaos within you. This is the peace of the sovereign self. So I invite you now to a final ceremony, a quiet ritual to anchor this new way of being. Let this be a conscious declaration of your energetic sovereignty. If you are willing, right now, to step fully into the role of the guardian of your own inner space, to honor your own life force, and to commit to the loving practice of the clean no, I invite you to do two things. First, close your eyes just for a moment. Imagine that beautiful, gentle bubble of golden light all around you. Feel its strength, feel its peace, and silently to your own heart, make a promise. I will no longer leak. And second, to make this promise tangible, to give it weight in the world, I invite you to write one powerful word in the comments below. Sovereign. Let this not be for me. Let it be a marker for yourself, a declaration that the days of being a buffet are over. Once you have learned to guard your own inner space, you are called to navigate some of the most complex boundaries of all. In our next video, we will take this new skill and apply it to the profound archetypal shift that happens as we learn to heal our relationship with our aging parents. But for now, just rest here, in the quiet, solid strength of your own being. The leaking has stopped. You are whole.